Bar staff of Reddit, have you ever had a man use the Safeword drink escape, and how often does it happen? I used to bartend for a gay bar. One night I had a group of guys who seemed to be having a great time. After another round of shots, one sticks behind at the bar and asks for an angel shot. I bring him behind the bar and into the office. He was with a couple coworkers and their friends. He knew the coworkers were gay and would be taking him to a gay bar, but apparently things started to get out of hand when they started trying to grope him. I tell him he can chill in the back room for as long as he needed. He hands me a handful of crumpled ones and asks for a burger. We didn't really serve food besides shitty bar snacks, so I hand him back his money and give him a couple bags of chips. About half an hour later I go to check on him and notice that he's really fucked up. To the point where he can't even talk. Definitely drugged with something. Luckily all his asshole friends were still there drinking, so I called the cops. He's rushed away in an ambulance immediately. I shut the bar down so the cops and I can go through the security footage. We managed to catch two of the guys he's with putting some powder into his beer. Both of them were arrested. The other two were somewhere else at the time and were let go. I used to bartend and do front desk at a hotel. One of my regulars was in for the week. Real nice guy, very friendly and happily married. We also had a cuckoo bird lady staying with us that week. She was decent looking, but definition had crazy eyes. They were both at the bar and they were talking for a while. Him being a nice guy, he didn't want to outright blow her off, I guess. He stops at the front desk to say what's up, and we talk for a bit while the girl is just standing behind him. He shoots me a look that says get me out of this situation as he starts walking towards the elevator. Once she gets in the elevator I called him back to ask a question about Detroit because I was going there next week. He got off the elevator, but so did she. Then I told the lady there was a problem with the card she had on file. There wasn't, and he slipped away. He called me thanking me a few minutes later. My old regular bar had a drink called Nef Need Escape Please Help. Not really the name as it is another language, but that is the idea, which was not on the menu. If you order it, they call you a cab, and one of the waiters will wait next to the toilet, allowing you to pay your half there, and let you into the back, so you can leave unnoticed. It was available for men and women alike to get out of bad dates, though they will not really let you use it to skip on your date. They didn't advertise it really, but regulars knew it existed. They would also actively offer someone that drink if they feel their date is going to the wrong place. I saw a man being offered it once when his date was verbally abusive to him, and a woman whose date was so arrogant and creepy and talked down on her. Never actually used it myself. I actually thought it was relatively common in most neighborhood bars to have this type of drink. So I'm a line cook, not bar staff, but at my last job, we had cameras in the bar area, cash register, and I was talking to our night bar gal. She said a guy had asked for a taxi because he felt dizzy and disoriented and didn't feel safe. His GF was chiding him, but it turns out it wasn't her that spiked the drink. The cameras caught the guy next to this couple putting something in his drink for his GF, and he screwed up which one because they both had the same drink. So, to couples, one guy accidentally doses a guy's drink by mistake. The girl for the dosing guy left without him. Apparently he was impatient when it wasn't working. The worst part? We thought he was cool guy. He was a regular. They caught him next time and called the cops and showed the tapes, and last I heard he was being charged with attempted sexual assault. I'm a bouncer. Had a regular dude meeting a Tinder date. She was pretty hot and I gave him a thumbs up. She was very polite and nice. 2 drinks later she became a nutter bitch. I walked up to him to see how it was going, and he explained, while she was in the toilet, how much of a bitch she was being to everyone. He came up to me, said how good the whiskey was he just had, and I knew straight away he's a beer man through and thought he wanted to bail. I asked him if he would stay if he didn't meet her. He nodded. So I kicked the girl out and told her she was too drunk. He met his girlfriend of now 3 years 2 hours later after I kicked her out. 8 years working at a brewery. Only one time have I had to actually save a guy, other than the funny ones, where I've helped them slip out of an awkward situation. Guy meets girl at the bus seats. They get drinks. 10 minutes later, round 2. Seems normal. They appear to be hitting it off. Out of nowhere this gal starts flipping the freak out. Couldn't understand most of what's coming out of her mouth. Screaming about this guy trying to date rape her, phone in hand, threatening to call the cops, involving other women and shit. Had to settle this lady down for a secretary and grasp what's going on. No dice. Won't chill out. She runs out of the bar at full speed and takes off in her car. Never saw her in the bar again. I know this guy didn't do anything, but had to talk to cops anyways. Make a report blah blah. Couple weeks pass by. Same guy at the bar chatting with me. On the TV. Local news. Is that woman arrested for assaulting a guy whom she accused of the same thing then trying to flee. It was her way of getting free freaking drinks. I was at a club some years ago when a girl came and sat next to me. It was annoying because I was already talking to another girl who got scared off. This girl starts talking whatever, and a couple minutes in she says, "Oh, so I was sitting here and lost my grandma's $50,000. Can you give it to me?" I immediately knew this was super freaktio. I said, "Come with me," and marched her straight to the bouncer. I told him this girl claiming I have her money and she's scaring me. Immediately bouncer and girl start yelling at each other. Seems like they met before. She storms off, and he tells me she's coked out and always causing shit. Not quite the same, but I worked in a coffee shop on a busy high street this year, and had a similar sort of thing happen. We noticed one customer had come in, ordered, and sat opposite the counter, which meant that he was staring at me and my other female colleagues for about 30 minutes straight. We wondered if he was high as he didn't seem aware of himself, but his gaze was following me as I walked up and down the counter, which was about 8 meters long. We then closed, and the customer sitting inside left, including a very nice, young couple who walked up the street away from the shop, as did the weird guy. About 10 minutes later, the couple came back to the door, which we had locked, and knocked, saying they'd left a phone behind. They came in and told us that the man had followed them for 10 minutes towards their home, so they came back to hide. Worked in a pub in Ireland as a bouncer. Not a common thing here to have a get me out to here shot. So no signs or that, but there was some Facebook post calling them angel shots that did its rounds. Girls would say they've to go to us and we'd know. No code words or shit. Anyway, one night I'm doing my thing in this nice bar, and a guy approaches me in front of a group of friends being a bit boisterous from a fancy restaurant across the road, and he says he needs an angel shot. So we let them in, but I hold him there questioning his ID as his friend make fun of me and him as I'm 22. This guy was maybe 35-ish, and I was a kid telling a man no. So they hang about for him, so I can't ask him what's up. I tell him no, he's had too much tonight. I hail a taxi down, and he pretends to resist getting in. So I basically pick him up and carry him into the taxi. He throws me €50 into my jacket pocket discreetly, and the taxi goes off then. Nothing big. 2 days later I'm working again, same bunch of guys from the restaurant come over. The angel shot guy isn't there. 3 days later angel shot guy comes, but very early, and explains it all to me. Turns out his friends were doing coke, all professional people, and a girl was raped in the bathroom. He said at first she wanted to have sex with one of them, but then 2 guys came in. Then she wanted out and couldn't. This guy tried to interject, but couldn't, and then felt uncomfortable and didn't want a part of this, so wanted to leave, but was told if he did they'd hurt him. And the reason they all returned 2 days later was his going away drinks that he didn't attend. Obviously. The guys were then charged like a month later. Can't find public info on it anymore. Only time I ever had to use the get me out to here shot. I have been manager of a nightclub in Holland for 1.5 years. We got good night out trainings. This is a training that helps you recognize when someone is getting sexual harassment and or assaulted and how to react to the situation. We would put up the good night out posters all over the venue. So if we miss it, people know they can trust the staff and tell us. Because it is hard to really recognize this in a nightclub, we had more people that would go to the bar and ask for help. They would just tell us. We had no Safeword. If this happened I was called, and I stopped with everything I did and started helping this person. A lot can feel as harassment. So we would always take it seriously. First I would try to take them off the dancer floor and backstage, so I could sit down and hear their story. After that I would always ask them if they want to press charges. If not, they could point the person that was harassing them to me and I would kick them out. If they want to press charges, I had to call the police and also try to find the harasser and hold them until the cops arrived. This would not happen a lot, maybe once every 1.5 months. Still too much, but for a nightclub it could be a lot worse. If someone tells you they are getting harassed, always take it serious. He/she already feels ashamed and had the balls to tell you about it.